Hi, thanks for tuning in to Men on Higher Learning today. Today's show is being sponsored by Zelda Robinson's Communications, home of inspiration and information. Information on how to get free grant money for poets, artists, ex-offenders, nonprofits, churches, and much, much more. Today's show is a very good show because it's dealing with our health again. This is a part 2 show of a part 1 show that was very excellent. It really got me excited about living forever. Today on the show we have Miss Berlina Baker again with us. And I'm so glad that you came back to do part 2 of this show because, wow, it's so uplifting and enlightening for people of all ages to listen to. I want to continue with asking these questions that I left off on before. The question today is, what are the most common dangerous drugs in America?
Well, the most common one is sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar used to be a drug, and it used to have to get a prescription to buy it.
Wow.
You would have to go to the pharmacy and buy it. But it has become common. People just eat it now, and sugar is such a serious drug. If you look at it, it has been cooked once, cooked twice, cooked 3, 4 times. Sugar even looks kind of like crack, like cocaine, looked like cocaine. And it's so concentrated, all of the nutrients, all of the vitamins, everything has been stripped away. So it's a drug, and it actually destroys tissues of the body.
Wow.
But it's so common that we even give it to our babies. When I was growing up with my children were growing up, people used to give their children for their formula, pet milk or canned milk and Karo syrup that's full of sugar.
I remember
and so
those
now
days.
we have all of these people who are addicted. And I've worked with a lot of people who are alcoholics and drug addicts. I've never worked with one that didn't start off with a sugar addiction. I've seen people put 15 teaspoons of sugar in a cup of coffee.
Wow.
Really addiction. So that's the most common one.
Oh, wow. That was very enlightening. Okay, what form of drug addiction is most commonly practiced among American women?
Women, sugar.
Sugar.
They eat sugar and chocolate. And now we're beginning to have another thing. A lot of American women now are on antidepressants. That's the next one that's raising up real fast. But sugar, I'd say, because you hear women talk about their craving for chocolate and sugar at the certain time of month, very, very common. It affects the calcium in their body. In my family, we had a lot of problems with sugar. Everybody's got tooth problems, bone problems, because we all ate so much sugar. And in my family, all the people end up with diabetes.
Yeah, I have that one in mind.
Usually they're my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. People are diabetics by the time they're 30.
Oh, wow.
So I figure I'm doing pretty good because I'm in my 70s and they haven't got me yet, so that's good.
Yeah, I say my family line, I feel the same way because I think I got 2 brothers, my mother, you know. I think my sister has it also, you know. It's like, I'm so glad it didn't hit me, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Now, why is it important to exercise every muscle daily?
You got to. If you don't use it, you lose it. Every muscle is needed for you to function properly. You should be able to run, jump, move. Your body is a machine. It's a well coordinated and designed instrument. So you need to keep each part of it functioning properly. It needs to be oiled so that you oil it by moving it.
Right.
And you need to have it lubricated. So that's why we say keep it going. Also make your body healthy because when you can move it, then you don't have to worry about being attacked as easily by people in the street. People, any animal in nature that's weak becomes it's preyed upon.
Yeah.
So I tell people, folks will think of you as a prey if you don't keep your body halfway together.
That makes sense, too. Yeah. All right. Now, how long can you hold your breath, inhalation or exhalation?
Well, you can tell how healthy a person is by how they breathe. When you're healthy, a person breathes in deeply and they exhale deeply. When people get sick, their body is weak, they breathe like this. It's labored and it's forced. So one of the ways that you can strengthen your body is to practice taking in deep inhalations and exhaling is even more important for a deep exhalation. Most people cannot exhale for a long time. People breathe in, you go to the doctor, he says, take a deep breath, and then you exhale. But you want to practice exhaling it. The longer you can exhale, the more waste, gases, and filth that you can get out of your body with each exhalation.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And when I used to teach elementary school, that's one of the ways that I would calm my children, through the breathing, because once they started exhaling, they would relax and calm down.
Yeah, I remember that. That sounds good. All right. Now, how far and how fast can you run without stopping?
Well, that's a question that everybody should ask. You know, because how many people do you know can run around the block twice without stopping? And as people get older, I have some people who can't even walk around the block. They can't even walk to the corner. So this should be a goal that we should be able to practice that as a goal to want to do, to run around and fast, because I think all the time, all of these people now who are on walkers and who've got transport and something like it hasn't always been like that.
Right.
We need to do something about it because our children are starting sooner and sooner to do this. And the other thing amazes me is how many people are in scooters now. You notice that?
Yeah.
They're just everywhere. Some of it because of injuries, some of it just because of bad habits. So we want to be sure that we can practice walking, because if you keep doing it, you'll be able to do it.
Right. That makes sense. Most definitely. All righty. How much time do you spend daily in prayer and meditation?
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. Most people would be better to do at least 2 to 3 periods of prayer and meditation. That's one of the things I love about the Muslims. The Muslims do 5 prayers a day. 5 prayers a day. And I've had some folks tell me, since I became a Muslim, it's much better because I spend so much time praying, I don't have time to get in trouble. I do better. And I love that because that's a great answer.
Yeah.
But take some time that you can actually be still, go within, and tune in with your higher power. That'll keep you healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you get still, everything balances itself.
Right. And there's a certain serenity about meditation. I really love that.
And I also like doing it in what I call the dew hours. I notice that every day, there are 2 periods of the day where the earth gets wet. That's in the morning, you get the dew on the grass, and in the evening. And in my mind, I always thought that when God is sending this dew to the earth, he's probably also sending it to our bodies, which are of the earth. It's a certain period of relaxing and whatever. So that's a real good time. Sunrise, sunset for prayer and meditation.
Yeah. All right. Which body organs are burdened by eating at night?
The eliminative organs, the digestive system, the liver, the kidneys, all of that, and your intestines backed up when you eat at night. And I brought along a little slide about that too, to just show what happens when that organ's back up. Your body just doesn't function well if you're eating at night, because your body is designed to digest food in the daytime, digest and assimilate food in the daytime. In the evening, it relaxes, it heals and repairs. But if you're eating at night, your healing and repair work doesn't get done. Your eliminative work doesn't get done.
Right.
So I have, and by us working in the center where I work, one of the things that we do is colonics. Have you ever heard of colonics before? You ever done one?
Yeah, it's a cleanse, right?
Yeah, we do that. And what we found was, since we were trying to help people to get well, we found that it was an easy, cheap way of getting people to get started at looking at their gut, looking at their gut and looking at the stuff that comes out. And we have a lot of people who are constipated. I got started that way because I was just plain constipated. I used to move my bowels, I say now and then. I was going to school and I was eating fast food, and I was lucky if I moved my bowels once a week.
Yeah, most of us went through that one,
Yeah, and so I went to visit a Dr. Wood up in Indiana. He told me if I didn't do something, I was going to be in trouble. So I found that cleaning my bowels cleaned out my mind, and it made me want to do better. So I went to school and studied it, and I really enjoy it, because most people have no idea what's inside them and why this stuff is backing up, even though they see everybody with these big guts.
Right. Do you have a slide of that?
Yeah, I have a few slides. Let me show them to you. This is on the body system. It talks about the intestinal system, which is the body's waste system or its sewer. And the intestinal system, it has, first of all, let's look at the small intestines. You got a large intestines that around the outside, and on the middle, right in the middle of your gut, is the small intestine. The small intestines is a part that reabsorbs water. The intestine we're talking about, the small intestine systems digest the food, but the large intestines reabsorbs the water after it comes through the small intestine. It also is responsible for eliminating any kind of waste and toxins out of the body that have been released from the cells. Anytime you move, your body creates toxins and they have to be gotten rid of. We talked earlier about a cell being able to live forever. I think that was at our last show. We were talking about a cell can live forever as long as it's cleaned. It also eliminates all kind of byproducts, indigestible material. For example, if you're eating cellulose, the real fiber in plants, your body can't break that down. So it moves it out as bulk through the intestines. This is a picture of what the colon looks like. The colon for most people is about as long as you are tall. So it's between 5 and 6 feet long. Now this colon is terribly interesting because the food comes in right here at the cecum. I mean, the waste comes in after it comes, the small intestine would be in the middle. It comes in, then your body's got to push it against gravity, push this waste up, push it across, and push it down and out. And usually this should occur within about 10 to 14 hours. This stuff has to move all the way out of here. And if it doesn't, that's when we have problems. Now see, that's a healthy colon, but usually the colon gets all twisted and everything else. Yeah, the colon has several things. The whole system includes the large intestines, the rectum, and the anus. All the water is absorbed. That's why you got to drink a lot of water, because if you don't, your body is really going to absorb all of this, I call it sewer water or garbage water. It's like if you don't drink enough water, your body is going to recycle it. So that's why we talked about drinking the water before. If you don't drink it, it recycles it, and it has to just snatch water out of the gut that should be eliminated, and it makes the stools very dry. And this intestine, while it's going through there, it's got over 700 species of bacteria. And we don't get these out, these bacteria cause us problems.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, your diet directly influences what kind of microbes and filth that gets in your body. When you eat healthy food, you're going to have healthy bacteria. But if you eat, nothing but junk and garbage, then you're going to have garbage. Now, another thing it talks about is always make sure that you don't resist the urge to have a bowel movement. If you got to have a bowel movement, go have it. Go do it. Don't sit back and hold